Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, we're taking a look at LaunchBox on Android, one of the best add-ons for emulation out there. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, if you don't know what LaunchBox is, if you don't know what a front end is, at a really high level, it's a program that sits in front of your emulators. LaunchBox is not an emulator. LaunchBox does not contain any games. The whole purpose of it is to organize your games library, make things look pretty, and make things easy to use. Now this tutorial is specific to Android. If you're on PC, I already have a tutorial up on the channel and I'll leave it in the description below. On Android, there are two versions of this app, free and paid. They work the exact same, except with the free version, you're capped at using it up to 100 games. Anything more than 100 games, and you'll have to go for the paid version. And I'll get to the cost later on. Unfortunately, LaunchBox is currently not available in the Google Play Store. You will have to download this and install it yourself. To do it, just head on over to launchbox-app.com/android-download. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can just click on that instead of typing everything in. Once you're here, enter your email address and then click Download Now. LaunchBox will send you an email with a download link. You can click on it and download the app on your phone. The size of LaunchBox is 123 megabytes. That doesn't include your emulators and your ROMs, so just make sure you have the space on your phone. This next step here is optional but highly recommended, and it'll probably save you quite a bit of time. With the import process on LaunchBox, you have to do it system by system. So if you have all of your ROMs organized into separate folders and titled appropriately, it'll make the whole process a lot simpler, a lot smoother, and a lot faster. Now getting back to the installation of LaunchBox, go on ahead and open that APK you just downloaded, and chances are it'll ask you for permission to install an app from third-party sources. It'll probably even give you a warning saying these apps can be malicious, which is true, but from my understanding, LaunchBox isn't. If anything does change, I'll be posting another video right away and I will let you know in the pinned comment. But from my understanding, the LaunchBox app here is 100% safe. Now, once you open it up for the very first time, it will ask for permissions to access photos, media, and files on your device. You'll want to say yes. After you get to the main screen of LaunchBox, you'll be greeted with a pop-up where it says you can import games directly on this Android device by selecting Import Games from the main menu, or you can use LaunchBox for Windows to export your collection from the desktop application. If you have the latest version of LaunchBox on your PC, if you use it on PC, you can export right from there. All you have to do on PC is boot up LaunchBox, go to Tools, and then go down to Export for Android, and there's a handy little wizard. Just a point of advice here, the wizard will let you export your entire collection, but I do recommend selecting specific games. The free version on Android will support up to 100 games, and if you want to test it out before you have to buy it, just select the games you're looking for here and export them. You can export your whole collection later. Now, if you don't have LaunchBox on your PC, or if you just want to do everything through the app, you absolutely can, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Click on Platforms on the top left-hand corner of the screen and then click Import Games. From here, go on ahead and select Folder of Games to import. Navigate to the specific folder where your ROMs are located and then click Select this folder. From here, select Platform for Imported Games. You can only import one system at a time, and this is why it's very helpful to have everything organized. So go on ahead and select the platform you plan on importing your games for. After you've selected your system, you have a few more options here. Region to prioritize, mine is set to North America. You can change this if you want. Combined ROMs with matching titles into a single game. If you have a bunch of ROMs with the exact same name and maybe they're just different versions or something, I do recommend keeping this one checked, and that helps keep things nice and organized. Import games from subfolders of the selected folder. If you have subfolders within your folder, then keep this checked to make sure it picks up everything. Other than that, you can go on ahead and click Proceed with Import. From here, LaunchBox should show the ROMs that it found. For me, it shows 3 games, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Fatal Fury, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And these are the games that I have on my phone, so from here I'm going to click Proceed. After it's done, press OK here to reload LaunchBox. Now right on the main menu for LaunchBox, you'll see the new system for the games you just imported. Feel free to repeat the steps for every single system you have ROMs for. Once you've finished importing all of your games, if you have a bunch of different systems you've imported games for, your LaunchBox menu should look something like this. Now this next step is optional, but I do recommend checking it out. On the top right hand corner of the screen, there's 3 dots here. Open it up to change change your view. This is complete personal preference on how you want LaunchBox to look and feel. For me, I prefer basic text list, but feel free to choose what you want. Just for reference, here is what basic text list looks like. Simple and straightforward. From here, all of the easy stuff is done. The next steps might be tricky for some people. You have to configure your emulators. LaunchBox isn't an emulator. It works with emulators you already have on your phone, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do here is open up Game Boy Color and try playing a game. Now LaunchBox has a really cool feature where it automatically downloads the game art for you. For example, you can see Shantae right here. We see what the box looks like and the game logo, and right underneath is Street Fighter Alpha. So this is Game Boy Color, but this setup is similar for every single system. Once I click play here, it'll bring me to a new menu. This step only happens the first time you try to launch a game for a system, but you can reach this menu later on if you need to change something. The default emulator is RetroArch Plus, but you can click on that and change the emulator if you have a different one you like to use. Now personally, I prefer using LaunchBox exclusively with RetroArch, but you can use other emulators if you want. And if you don't have RetroArch or if you don't have another emulator, all you have to do is just click Verify Configuration to see if it's on your phone. If it's not, you can open the Google Play Store and install the exact emulator it's looking for, which is a really handy feature. You can also open the emulator from this menu and do the configurations yourself. Now for the purposes of this video, I will be using RetroArch Plus because I think it pairs very nicely with LaunchBox. You can see there's a default core selected. If you want to use a different core, you can just change it there. I'm going to click Verify Configuration just to make sure RetroArch is installed on my phone. And LaunchBox let me know, success confirmed that RetroArch is installed and ready to be launched, but I do have to make sure I have the proper core. So if you take a look at the default core, it does say SameBoy. So I'll just open up RetroArch here and download that SameBoy core. Just make sure it's the exact same one that's listed. So all you have to do here is click Open RetroArch Plus, and that should open RetroArch for you. On the main menu of RetroArch, select Load Core. Now for this video, I deleted every single RetroArch core I have just to show you what it looks like with a clean install. If you have cores available, they should show up on this list. So just verify that the core you have is the exact same one LaunchBox is asking for. If you don't see it, go on ahead and click Download a Core. From here, scroll down the list until you find the exact core you're looking for. In this list, I can see Nintendo Game Boy Color SameBoy, and for this video, that's the one I'm looking for. After you click on the core, it'll say Core Installed on the bottom. Feel free to close out RetroArch. To do this, hit the back button, which will bring you to the main menu, scroll down to the bottom and then select Quit RetroArch. It'll bring you back to LaunchBox. Now go back into the game you're trying to launch and hit play, and it should bring up the emulator you just configured. In this case, it's RetroArch, and you can see the game playing A-OK. Now this is actually RetroArch up and running. This is no longer LaunchBox. Any configurations I make in here are configurations in RetroArch. For example, if I click this little RetroArch logo, it'll bring up the quick menu, and this is the RetroArch menu. This is not the LaunchBox menu. From here I can save states and load states, change graphical settings, add cheats, and change controls, whatever I really want to do. Now let's say later on you want to change the emulator that LaunchBox uses when it opens a game. To do that, all you have to do is go to the main menu in LaunchBox, click and hold the system, and then select Emulator Settings. This will bring up that emulator menu that we just configured. From there, you're pretty much good to go. Feel free to just enjoy your games. Here's just a tip if you're running into some issue with some box art, and I noticed this with my Sega Dreamcast games. It wasn't picking up Capcom vs SNK 2, and that's because V1.001 is in the title of the game, which doesn't exist in real life, so it was trying to find that box art and couldn't find it. To fix this, I just had to rename that ROM. Once I changed the name, the correct information showed up, it downloaded the artwork, and I was good to go. And for those of you wondering, yes, LaunchBox does work in landscape mode. I just did this tutorial in portrait mode to show you the most I could on the screen. As for the cost of LaunchBox, if your library size is less than 100 games, then LaunchBox is 100% free. You don't have to pay for anything. All of the features are free. But if you want to use this for more than 100 games, if you have a big library, then you will have to pay to use everything. And it's not necessarily expensive, but I wouldn't say it's cheap either. The regular license here is $10 and then $5 every year after if you want to get updates. And the forever license here, which is good, well, forever, that is $25 overall. As a bonus here, if you have multiple devices, maybe you have a phone and a tablet you want to put this on, well, you can put it on both devices with one license because they say it's DRM free. If you're interested in LaunchBox, I don't recommend buying it right out of the gate. Try the free version out, see if it works for you, see if you're happy with it, and see if you actually want to pay for it. If you don't, well, no big deal and you're not really out any money. But if you buy it and then just decide you don't like it, well, that could be a headache. At the end of the day here, I'm a big fan of LaunchBox on Android. It gets a huge thumbs up from me, and I love how it pairs with RetroArch. It makes the whole RetroArch experience a lot more user-friendly and a lot less intimidating. Now, I will say LaunchBox is not the easiest to set up and configure if you're not used to emulators, in which case I just maybe recommend downloading some individual emulator apps, trying those out, getting familiar with them, and then trying out LaunchBox. I also didn't like how LaunchBox played with Redream. I had a few issues, Redream crashed a couple of times, and I also found that LaunchBox brought me to the main menu in Redream as opposed to opened up the game in Redream, and that was slightly frustrating, but I'm pretty certain these bugs will be fixed later on. They are working on LaunchBox, it does get updates and improvements, so hopefully these things get fixed. Anyways, that is all I've got for this video. Let me know your thoughts on LaunchBox on Android in the comments below. Do you use it? Do you like it? Does it not have a feature you want? Or is it everything you ever dreamed of? If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Thank you, everyone. Take care.